The easy way to ensure that we don't waste a single moment of Ramadan is to ensure that we're doing the right thing at the right time. What should I be doing this minute? And this can easily be achieved with a little bit of thought. The 24 hours of Ramadan, if we start with the Maghrib prayer, the time between Maghrib and Isha, how are we going to spend that? Then the time from Isha till Fajr, the night time, how are we going to divide that up? How much for ibadah, how much for rest, how much for suhoor, etc. Then the time from Fajr till Dhuhr, what time are we going to go to work? What's going to happen before that, during that? Then Dhuhr time, which we can align with, for many people, the lunch break, which you don't have to have in Ramadan. How are we going to spend that? Then the time from then till when you get home, if you have a day shift, for the majority. And what we do then, what's the first thing we do? What's our priority? Do we have a plan in mind? And then the time between Asr and Maghrib. So it's just about reviewing the 24 hours and making some decisions, even baby steps. So let's quickly go through a few decisions, a few steps we can take together today, inshallah. A few resolutions, inshallah. Yes? So, first and foremost, together with ensuring that we keep all the fasts, life is short. The hours and minutes are trickling away. The life blood. We don't know how long we're going to live. We don't know how many Ramadans we're going to have. We're only here in the dunya for a temporary amount of time. Even as we sit here, there's a janazah today. So, Maghrib time. To perform the Maghrib prayer on time. And preferably with congregation in a masjid, with Jamaat. And then there are the nawafil after Maghrib. There are the du'as of the iftar. It's a time to do du'a. The hadith says, لِلصَّائِمِ فَرْحَتَانِ. There are two occasions of happiness for the fasting person. One when he opens his fast and the other when he meets his Creator. Subhanallah. So the special pleasure of that first morsel and sip that you take when you open your fast, that's because of the blessings of Ramadan. It's not merely the taste of food. It's an occasion to remember Allah and to observe shukr. And to ensure that the iftar happens with halal rizq. And that we don't eat too much. So much that we become groggy and lazy. The food should be good for our heart and for our body. For the spirit, for the soul, at all levels. Healthy food in due proportion, in moderation. The Maghrib prayer. So we open our fast, perform the Maghrib prayer, then there are the Sunan and Nawafil. It's a good time to perform Nawafil. If you have had a few dates even, and a good drink of water, it's not difficult to perform a few short Nawafil. For the extra reward, the awwabin, the 6 extra rakats of Nafil prayer after Maghrib. And then there's a generous amount of time this year and in the coming years between Maghrib and Isha as the nights get longer. That's time to be used. It's not a case that you go home and put your feet up and have a TV lunch delivered by Uber and then just watch the news or just tune into some channel and satisfy yourself that I'm listening to the Quran in the haram and therefore that's enough for me. It might be better than certain other things that people view, but it's not the substitute. It's not a substitute for your own tilawat. In reality, you should be ready and primed for this. Quick meal, help in the household chores perhaps, and then, like a good person of the household, yes, not making demands, undue demands on the family, and then getting ready for ibadah. Start your tilawat, the time between Maghrib and Isha. Then there's the Isha prayer, the Sunan, the Nawafil, then there's the Taraweeh prayer. Listen to the full Quran, stay till the end, as the hadith says, until the Imam turns from the Musalla, until he's finished his Salah. Read the Watr with the Imam. This is clearly mentioned in the hadith. Then there's the night time. Now, of course, you need to take some rest. Working people, busy people need to take some rest. But arrange your night such that when you wake up for your suhoor, there's also a moment for dua, dhikr, extra nafils, some qiyam, some tilawat. So that's a valuable time all year. And especially in Ramadan, since you're going to be up anyway, you may as well use this opportunity And then there's the Fajr prayer, again, preferably with congregation, with Jama'ah, in the masajid, with the sunan. And then after this, if you're awake at the time, or you're to wake a little after sunrise, you can read your Ishraq. Ideally, you'd wake up, stay up for it. But you can still read those nafals. And then there's the duha, the nafals before, in the latter part of the morning, before noon. If you have the opportunity, by all means. You will not be taking your cigarette break, vaping break, so why not read a couple of nafals in the office, if you have that opportunity? Yes? Some tilawat. And then, after this, dhuhr prayer. Now, if you can align this with your lunch break, there's no reason to miss it. And many of you can make the way to the masajid, your local masjid, and perform it with congregation, and some extra tilawah. It actually saves a lot of time not having to eat. And then, when you go home, you don't want to fall asleep on the couch and miss your Asr prayer. You need to have a rest. And then from Asr to Maghrib, this is a very special time. Asr with Jama'ah, Maghrib with Jama'ah, and the time in between can be devoted exclusively to tilawat and to dua and dhikr. So it's about aligning the 24 hours with our priorities to make sure that we can squeeze every drop of juice from this blessed occasion. Well, Asr, even the word Asr, which is referring to time, also has the sense of extraction and of pressing something. Imam Muhammad rahimahullah, in the Muwatta, he mentions that لِأَنَّهَا تُعْسَرْ, Asr is called Asr prayer because it's squeezed between the sunset and the afternoon. It's pushed forward. So we can try to squeeze out every benefit from the month of Ramadan by using spare moments. Let me just finish with this. There isn't much time. We're talking about time. Mufti Taqi Uthmani, he noticed, this many years ago, that he would have a few minutes of time when his wife would be preparing the food. She's just laying it out. A few minutes of time. So he thought, how can I use this time well? So he began to compile a few notes. He wrote a book which has masnoon du'as in it. During the time he would wait over many sessions for the food to be laid out. People who have value for time make a point of using it wisely. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us amongst them. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Wa sallallahu ala nabiyil kareem.